Emery is a bloody great presenter of sim racing based content, and I might add, as a casual, the overtake tutorials on things like the SRM rally that she's done are a bloody lifesaver. Many thanks to the whole overtake team for such content. Hey guys, I'm Lewis, a flight sim developer and game designer, getting a kick out of the sim racing hobby on the side, and apparently making little ranty videos using the bit of experience in life I have that just happens to be in the computer gaming industry. Watching Emery recently on the Le Mans Ultimate against iRacing video, linked below in the description, they mentioned something that I wanted to raise as not so much being wrong, but more placing a bit more context on it, and just raising the issue in general. Then I wanted to explain why what essentially seems like a silly little thing can be quite important for the hobby as a whole, or at least raise its awareness so that the sim racing hobby doesn't go too far down the route of essentially if you know, you know, and having a walled garden without around the sim racing hobby without particularly realizing it. So here's the quick clip of what piqued my interest.
I found Le Mans Ultimate kind of difficult to set up. I think iRacing, it's been around for a long time now, but iRacing is a really confusing member site and UI, but once you're actually in game, it's really good at telling you what you need to set up. If you need to set up your wheel, you need to set up look left and look right, how to get in and out of the car, that kind of basic stuff. In Le Mans Ultimate though, this is an early access game and it kind of shows you just need to figure this stuff out for yourself. The game does not calibrate or automatically assign your wheel or any buttons. You have to go find the buttons yourself, and there's 300 buttons that you have to choose from. It's tricky. If you're used to rFactor 2, it's fine, but if you're coming at it for the first time, it can be overwhelming.
And here's a quick comment I recently had on my little Assetto Corsa 2 video that runs along the same sort of lines, just because this is something I've come across more and more and pretty regularly in my little jaunt into sim racing.
Nice video. Pretty smart conclusion. Though I have to disagree in one thing. Assetto Corsa is easy as hell to mod, and it's not ours to update. You can have the last patches of the mods in 10 minutes, unless you have Antarctica internet or something.
As a casual user, but one that is tech savvy, whilst also having experience in the gaming industry, and I deal with customers a fair amount every single week, all year round. It's interesting that I not only see this, but see such things popping up more and more, and it's just a silly little thing, but it can be an endemic issue, thinking that the stuff you're doing is easy for everyone. Having gone back to iRacing myself, I think less than a year ago, or maybe just over a year ago, it actually wasn't all that easy to get up and running. At the time, I was already experienced in Project Cars 1 and 2, Assetto Corsa Competizione, smidge of rFactor 2, a little bit of Automobilista 2, and going years back, like GTR and GTR 2. Yet iRacing really wasn't all that easy to jump in and use. Its plug and play wasn't that great. The menus, even in the current build, are straight out of the 90s, with a design style akin to some old coders I know. And the entire whole old style programmer mantra of solely function, zero thought on intuitive design or usability at all, almost forgetting that an end user exists to use this. A massive menu and text squeezed as much as it can onto a panel, and with its own language somewhat unique to iRacing. I expect, like many, I ended up referring to friends and being talked through on the Discord what does what and why. Especially such little gems as iRacing's force feedback auto-tune, that I wouldn't be surprised if many iRacers, including some that are watching this video, don't even realize exists, let alone use it to get a very quick FFB setting on a per car, customized to their hardware and their driving, and it's something that I would have no idea existed had I not been told by a friend and then shown how it works. I literally can click a button in iRacing and it sets up my FFB for me per car. Why is this not shouted about? It's an amazing feature. And just to quickly address the AC comment, I personally cannot fathom how anyone can say AC is easy to get up to speed unless you are purely speaking for oneself, kind of from a place of pure experience, really. Whilst a bunch of it is drag and drop, the amount of checking, the differences in the way mods are packaged, the readmes, the install instructions from CM to Pure or Sol, all the cars, tracks, filters, etc, etc. Even for me, whilst I find it easy to do from a computer user point of view, it can be time consuming, and as a casual, I will be constantly referring back to manuals and readmes to check what I'm doing it correctly, and I'm doing it in the right order. It's in fact such a pain in the ass that I've so far put off reinstalling AC for well over a year. I'm not even sure I'm going to get it done this year because it's not a fun task. For a new user, it's quite a cliff, if not of a learning experience and certainly of time to get set up and running customized to their system. So why can this be important regarding overestimating how easy something can be, and why should we sometimes think of this stuff, even as users, not just developers? Well, because as time goes on, as the newer generations come through, even in my own day-to-day, week-to-week job, I'm finding more and more, not less, but more, having to talk new users through such basics as how to use a Windows start menu or start button to navigate their PC. These are all intelligent people as well. The customers I deal with tend to be pretty tech savvy themselves to certain degrees, at least outside of maybe the home computer. In fact, many of them I deal with are the ones flying you around the next time you go on holiday, as these are flight sim people, many of them real world pilots. They know how to program a Boeing 737. So it's important to remember this, because if we want new users like these, maybe not the flight sim guys, but the average Joe to come in, then it's important to remember that the current thinker with Le Mans Ultimate, first impressions can count. So if you're put off by early access Le Mans Ultimate, then imagine how a new user could feel starting your own favourite sim for the first time. Can you do that? Can you take a step back and honestly say, this is pretty easy? If you are mostly a one platform person in our hobby, do remember your experience is what makes something easy. So in the case of Emery, as they mentioned, they have come at it from an iRacing point of view. But as a casual who likes to switch around, I find Le Mans Ultimate personally no more difficult or easier than iRacing, which I relatively recently had to do too for setup. If you're able to really take a step back, look at your favorite platform, how user-friendly is it really, newbie user-friendly is it? Let me know in the comments your thoughts. I'd love to hear how you guys feel about how your favorite sim is newbie or new user-friendly, and if there are any features you could think of that might help newbies. Personally, for me, there's someone that used Project Cars as a gateway sim. I'm somewhat shocked that no one else in the developer space, making the platforms anyway, has had the foresight to make an in-game engineer that can make basic baseline setups for you on the basis of answering some key questions. I don't understand how this feature from Project Cars has not been picked up by other developers. Crazy. Well, thanks for taking some time out of your day to listen to me today. Super appreciated. If you can, give us a like, subscribe to the channel. That would be amazing. But it's not the end of the world. Thank you very much, and I'll see you on the next video.